Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. Happy Nikes, it's time for review. Now, last week we discussed the May 21, 2026 Rust Store, and that means today we're here for the final Rust Store for May 2026. It's, does that complete the sets? What? Right, so of course, let's begin. So, around this point in time, we know complete the sets is about to happen. It was scheduled for the second week of June 2026. But looking at this Rust Store, at first glance, my initial reaction was, isn't this kind of a complete the sets? Yes. So I just basically referred to this as the complete the sets teaser. But if you notice some of the skins here, like tactical gloves, that waited 2 months, electric furnace, that waited a month. We very randomly have a non-collection rug that waited 7 years to be accepted. It was a bit strange. Got the sword there that waited 6 years. Yeah, so point made. Yeah, it's like a teaser. So, okay, cool. I certainly wasn't complaining. I saw some very interesting skins immediately. And of course, you might notice certain collections. So, okay. Thundergold tactical gloves. I was all over that. I couldn't stop talking about it. Like, again, just take a look at the Thundergold collection. Even back in May, doing wonderful. Right now, looking stupendous. But remembering how the Thundergold backpack behaved, it very likely would take a while for the gloves to eventually flourish. But I'm instantly assuming, you know what? Okay, there might be a possibility of whiteout tactical gloves in 2 weeks' time. That could happen. But I was kind of not really, actually expecting it. These very likely are going to be the only white gloves for the foreseeable future. Now, of course, if you missed out on Trust and Rust gloves, that's going to be a bit of a pain. You can refer to them as other white gloves, but I guess you could say this is mostly or predominantly white. That has like some big black blotches on it and whatnot. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, you could also refer to as No Mercy tactical gloves as predominantly white tactical gloves, but just take a quick look at Thundergold. You can see it with your own eyes. You know. So, okay, cool. Are we ever going to see hoodie and pants? Ha 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 ha. We said it back then, and we say it today. Anyway, so I've seen the great success of Thundergold. I instantly was looking at that with a lot of positivity. But again, I know a lot of people are going to probably jump in. I know a lot of people will probably end up chucking a bunch of them on the Steam market afterwards. So it's very likely to be a long-term sort of situation. And to be honest with you, with like complete the sets Rust stores, most of the time, quite a lot of the skins tend to drop down in price. But this isn't a complete the sets Rust store, technically, but whatever. So, alright, yep, long term, you're looking good. I'm just not going to instantly assume everything's going to be stupendously fine immediately. And of course, we'll talk more about that in a bit. Another space station skin is accepted. Again, you might sit there and say, what are you talking about? There's only 2, based on back then, only 2. But again, the space-themed acceptances we've seen throughout the first half of 2026, lots of deplorables, lots of appreciation. So, cool, you know what? The more the merrier. Is it going to work out perfectly fine? Because we are starting to see a lot of electric furnace skins being accepted. One of the random super late picks, we got another Popstar skin being accepted. But funnily enough, because it's so old, it has like the old design of the Popstar girl. With the fairly recent acceptances, the skin creator had updated it. So, again, it's still bright and colourful and lovely and wonderful. Like, well, you really are advertising it. But you know what I'm saying. Like, compared to all the other backpacks that exist, there isn't really anything like it. There really isn't anything like it. Maybe we could get like a Twitch drop or kick drop in the future. But point still remains, it's another Popstar skin. It's very unique. I was looking at that with some positivity. Yep. Apotheosis of War gets another skin accepted. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. We're building up a pretty interesting looking collection. Another fridge skin's accepted, though. However, in comparison to the previous year, by the time we reached around May time, we did have a lot more fridges. So it does look as if 2026 is going to be like a lot more slower with fridge acceptances. But I'm still quite cautious. Again, with so many being accepted the previous year. Alright, cool. Yep, runway rug appears. A strange acceptance, but a pretty cool looking design. Like, you could use that for advertising. Go this way. And, of course, it also glows in the dark. So, all right, you know what? I do respect glow-in-the-dark rugs. In the past, we've only had so many. Marketable ones, that is, marketable ones. So early in the year, we did have the volcanic rug. I said the exact same thing. But unfortunately, with other options appearing, it's kind of got lost in the shuffle. Fingers crossed it still works out further on in the future. But again, I'm not joking. Look at Shadowborn. Look at Respawn Allegory Fresco. Scroll. Look at the Rug from Hell. Panamanium. I should point out prices were different 2 months ago, so just saying. So, yeah, Runaway Rug. You're looking pretty interesting. Thumbs up. Now, with all of these collection continuations here getting a lot of, attention, Abyss SKS is just sitting here, just sitting there, biding its time. And I have to respect how previous Abyss weapon skins have behaved in the past. Basically, they'll come out, they'll probably go down in price for a short while. They'll just kind of stagnate for a bit at a lower price. And then when times are good, oh look, Abyss collection gets bought out. Oh look, the weapon skins have improved and got up into the positive. I was expecting the same thing with the SKS. Question is though, how much is it going to sell? It's a pretty stacked looking rust store. Is it going to get noticed? Harbour Seal Sleeper Bag, you know what? The exact same thing. Even initially, we're looking at all the skins, I was noticing it wasn't selling that much. And we will be talking about that, because Harbour Seal Collection, it has been quite successful. And with the acceptance of this, all of the skins back then were in the positive. So, okay, looking pretty interesting. Salvage Sword, it was a perfectly fine looking design. It's just I don't trust Salvage Swords, and you can probably tell why pretty quickly. So, alright, cool. Toy salvage decks. Yeah, sure. Another toy collection skin? That's random. Okay, yeah, I'd like to see an ice pick and maybe another attempt for the hoodie and pants. But it is made by a little ranger who happens to have a lot of collections under their wing, on their belt. I don't know what the right term to say is. They have a lot going on. Chances are they'll probably just focus doing some more Abyss skins. Or, I don't know, maybe another certain chicken-related skin. Anyway, so, alright, cool, nice to see it. Just not really sure what to think of it. Savage Axes, they've only just became available somewhat recently. And even back then, not all of them were doing super great, so. Then we have Senor Tomato. And you know what? Okay, it has been around for quite some time. It has been very successful to a point. It still keeps going getting acceptances. It's got a strange variety of skins being accepted, but they all haven't really sold that much. And this was becoming very evident. Just after almost the first day, it was very obvious. It really wasn't selling that much. And at this point in time, Thompsons really are starting to improve. I was looking at that with some intrigue, with some interest. But mainly due to the fact that it just simply wasn't selling that much whatsoever. So, okay, pure red Thompson. Will people take a liking to that? And then with Nuke Vibe, I'm aware that Nuke Vibe isn't in demand. Wasn't back then, isn't really now. Yeah, I like the skins. I think they're cool. It's just you have to reflect and be aware of what everybody seems to think. And if all the prices are down, yeah. And then Old Pirate Pump Shotgun. I mean, I would have liked to have seen another Old Pirate transparent aim sight weapon skin, but hey, the more the merrier. But with the recent Pump Shotgun skins we'd seen being accepted, with it being the focused item of the month, I wasn't feeling very confident. No. So, yeah. I'm not surprised to see it was the lowest selling skin back then, and I really didn't have that much faith in it. So, of course, with every single rust store that we have, I'm always considering what potentially could be the best investment for the week. But everything was kind of conflicting. The main point I had to sit here and say was that by default, I'm all in with the Thundergold tactical gloves. But with all the other skins, we got some very interesting collection continuations here. But I am noticing with the sales, so let's go over to here and showcase this. Ta-da! When I did my conclusion, I was like, I need to wait it out. I need to wait it out, and I need to see how much has sold after the first 24 hours, the first 48 hours. Only then could I get a clear picture in regards to how much each of these skins are likely going to sell by next Thursday. And of course, having a good idea in regards to whether each of these skins could work out as nice investments. But more specifically, every single week, I always say it's better to be patient and wait it out until we do the abnormal barders, then make a move. So, again, by default, Thundergold Tactical Gloves, I was on it. But the other skins, very curious. I was, yes. I thought I was definitely going to be buying a bunch of those skins. It's just a matter of it's smarter to wait it out just a little bit longer, then make a move. So, alright, cool. Let's now quickly go ahead then and showcase the first 24 hours of sales. And as you might notice, well, actually, you know what? That isn't that high. But considering all the interesting collection continuations and whatnot, okay, you know what? Maybe a lot of people are diversifying and whatnot, but then again, look at the lowest of lows and look at the highest. Yeah, maybe people just didn't feel like spending money. Do you know what though? That's fine. That's fine. If people don't want to buy tons of these, all the better for them to rise up in price in the future. I'm certainly fine with that. Thumbs up. I'm good. I like that. All right, cool. You know what? If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. It's so good. Thumbs up. Yeah. So yeah, I was actually quite surprised with this, and I was actually quite motivated as well. All right then. So things are looking pretty sweet. Things are looking pretty interesting. So of course, when we did the abnormal barders, what were we thinking when we saw the sales as of Wednesday? So on the night, Thundergold Tactical Gloves has become the highest selling skin, and not by that much, mind you, but yeah, it's on top. It was the skin I talked about immediately when I was doing my predictions video, or at least after the conclusion. With the conclusion, you get the idea. Moving on. So Tactical Gloves, even then, like, it was the top selling skin, but it hadn't really sold that much more in comparison to the previous skins. In fact, it was lining up just about perfectly. Around 20,000 subscribers is A-okay with me. So I was like, you know what? Okay, what price are we going to offer for that $2 skin? $1.20 to $1.70. I was going all in. I was going to offer good. Yeah, I could see a very nice future ahead with the Thundergold Tactical Gloves. Again, might have to wait a while, but eventually, much like the previous skins, I couldn't help but assume it's going to work out lovely. And again, if we don't see any more white tactical glove skins being accepted, it's only better for it. It's only better for it. So, all right, cool. Space Station Electric Furnace, with it priced at $2.49. After seeing the success of all the previous space-themed deplorables and whatnot, again, they're not all made by the same skin creator, but they're still connected as their skins based on the Space Station building skin. I was like, you know what? Yeah, you have sold quite a lot. True, but I missed out on some of the previous Space Station skins. I thought, I can't make a move. I've got to jump in on this. I said $1.50 to $2. I respected it. I liked what I saw. I thought I should jump in. Apotheosis of War Fridge. You know what? That's a cool looking fridge. It's priced at $3. It's got some pretty cool looking transparency. It's got like barbed wire wrapped around it. Very cool design made by the skin creator. But I thought, you know what? I'm still a bit hesitant considering the amount of fridges we saw the previous year. I did get burned pretty badly with the previous year. So you know what? Eventually at some point, yes, we're expecting to go through the summertime and see prices rise ever so nicely. But inevitably, we also have October. September, October, November, the autumn-fall seasonal dip. I kind of wouldn't be surprised if the fridge drops down in price at some point. So I thought, you know what? Okay, $1.70 to $2.20. That's how I wanted to approach it. Popstar Large Backpack, I was going in strong. Like, with the success of Popstar, with the amount of skins that have been accepted, for a $2.49 skin, I was going $1.50 to $2. With the Runway Rug, I liked the design. I thought people were going to utilise it. Point arrows to say, come and try your best. Raid me if you can. Stupid things like that. Or come and buy from here. Our vending machine's just like located there. You get the idea. So, a fun, goofy, and yet potentially interesting looking design for a glow-in-the-dark rug. All right, you know what? Priced at $2.49, $1.50 to $2. Then we got the Abyss SKS. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, these skins were getting quite a bit more attention compared to the skins over to here. And with the Abyss SKS, only managing to just about reach over 9,000 subscribers. I was like, you know what? I remember how Abyss Collection skins have behaved in the past. I'm going to offer around $2. So I said $1.70 to $2.20. I was going to offer around that amount. Wait it out. Chances are I'll be picking up a bunch of these with barders. And then eventually, when times are good, when all of the Abyss Collection usually gets bought out, I won't be surprised if the SKS ends up in the positive. I won't be surprised if I can sell those skins for some sweet, delicious profit. So, yeah, $1.70 to $2.20. Now, with the Harbour Seal sleeping bag, I was very surprised to see it really wasn't selling that much. At this specific point, 30 minutes before we do the abnormal barders, it only has 8,000 subscribers. Harbour Seal is a pretty goofy, strange looking set, but I was very surprised to see it just wasn't selling that much whatsoever. So I was like, all right, you know what? Priced at $2.49, I'm going to offer $1.50 to $2. But looking at it, I was starting to think, you know what? I might need to jump in and buy some. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Don't you worry. Then we also had the Nuke Vibe large box. But again, I already said it's not very in demand, the collection and whatnot. It was a $2.49 skin. I said, you know what? With only 5,000 subscribers, I'll go ahead and offer $1 to $1.50. Maybe things could still work out perfectly fine. So, cool. And then the skins that weren't abnormal. Toy Salvage Stacks, I know you didn't sell that much, but I still wasn't 100% behind you. 5,500 subscribers. I said 60 cents, 20 cents. But with the Senor Tomato Thompson, again, I have seen Senor Tomato skins work out quite nicely as time has gone on. And it very likely is due to the fact that they just haven't sold that much. That Thompson's sitting there with only 5,400 subscribers. A perfectly fine bright red design. It's a Thompson. Thompsons are appreciated. The skins are appreciated. Senor Tomato, are you appreciated? I'd say it's appreciated enough. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to offer between $1 to $1.50. And there might be more to that, which we'll talk about in a second. And then we had the old Pirate Pump Shotgun. I didn't fully trust it. Again, with all the recent pump shotguns, they were noticeably dropping down in price. I offered 70 cents to $1. Right then. So, let's now move back over to here and discuss, did Hedge happen to buy any of the skins in this rush store? Well, I can comfortably sit here and say I spent quite a lot. Hedge went ahead and bought 100 Thundergold tactical gloves, 30 Popstar backpacks, 30 runway rugs, 20 Senor Tomato Thompsons, 20 Space Station electric furnaces, and 20 Harbour Seal sleeping bags. Specifically with the Harbour Seal sleeping bag, I was like, guys, I've got to go ahead and make a short video. So after we did the abnormal barders and seeing how good the support it had, I was like, all right, I'm going to jump in, do a quick short video showcasing it, talk about the potential of like collection continuations. I was really behind that Harbour Seal sleeping bag. I was so pleasantly surprised to see it just hadn't sold that much. So, yeah, just a fun little thing to bring up. Right then, let's now discuss how everything turned out. Did everything match to our expectations? Starting off with the Thundergold tactical gloves, I was assuming there would be some potential problems for a while. It very likely is going to be a nice, slow, gradual rise in price. Well, right now it's slightly down in price. This managed to reach just about 20,000 subscribers, but with the position that it's in, I'm not too worried. I'm not too fussed. I'm not rushing to make a bunch of sales and whatnot. Now, if I could just quickly look at sales history, because as I can confirm, it is slightly below its rush store price. I have noticed in the past some people dumping quite big, fat, massive stocks. Like, there's an 18 here, there's a 22 here. Not the best, but if I can recall, it's also not the worst it's been. So if I had to go ahead and look at all of this down to here, like, it's quite thin, bar these two listings here. It's honestly not that bad. So, okay. But sales history, yep, go back over to there. It has just maintained itself perfectly fine. Not exactly plummeting down in price, not exactly spiking in price, just doing okay. And you know what? It's stable, it's fine, I can't complain. I'm alright with that. Because as I said, I wasn't necessarily assuming it's going to shoot up in price anytime soon. I've seen how the previous Thundergold skins have behaved, notably the backpack. We should actually bring up the backpack, showcase how that eventually got to where it was, because it's doing pretty good. For a while, it's just there. It's just doing quite all right. But then, when times are good, it rises up quite nicely. Oh, yes, indeed it does. But then it just does good for quite a while. And then, oh, look, good times ahead. Rises. But, of course, we did have a bit of a dip during, like, June. So that's not been super great. But fairly recently, we are starting to notice some improvement. And as we enter August time, we hope to see, like, better things. So, yeah, the point still remains. For a while, the backpack was just kind of there. At the moment, with what we see here, the gloves are just kind of there. But guess what's about to happen? Good times are ahead. We are expecting, starting with the August Force Wipe, things are going to start rising up quite nicely. Hopefully. Now, if we were to see more collection continuations and whatnot, that would be pretty sweet. And I can confirm right now on the workshop, there just so happens to be a Thundergold small backpack. Oh, okay. All right. You know what? I think a lot of people might appreciate that. What do you reckon? So that's looking pretty good. That's looking pretty sweet. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. Again, I knew I was going to be in it for the long haul. I knew buying 100 of them wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing to do. So I'm just going to sit here and wait. And chances are, I probably won't even start considering to sell until post-Christmas 2027. January 2027. Like, I still own 50 Thundergold backpacks. I haven't sold them. I don't want to. I just can't help but assume with a lack of new white backpacks being accepted, it's just going to steadily keep rising up in price. Unfortunately, I got that same thought process with the tactical gloves. So we'll see how it goes. Feel free to comment below. Did you happen to buy any of those tactical gloves yourself? What's your current thoughts? Because again, it's not exactly doing bad. It's not exactly doing terrible. Like, it's all right. And that's good. I like to see stable skins. So, from here and now, let's hope it slowly starts to rise up higher and higher and higher, and we keep making more and more sweet, delicious profit. Well, it's only profit if you sell. So, yeah. Anyway, cool. So that's nice. I'm not complaining about that. I could complain about the space station electric furnace, though. That's a shame. So, the one space station skin I actually jump in and purchase, it's the one that goes down pretty awkwardly. I wonder why. I wonder why. How could this go so wrong? Oh, look, there's someone dumping 28 of them, and there's 19 and 10 and 10. Oh, yippee! Right, were you always bad, though? Because I recall you were doing pretty good initially, and yeah, it looks like people were behaving themselves for a while, and then they decided not to. So, yippee, wonderful, lovely, great. So, yeah, that's unfortunate. But I still stand by my point. Just looking at all the recent space skins, I can confirm they have been doing pretty good. They have been doing pretty sweet. So, unfortunately, like I said, I just so happened to buy the one that didn't work out perfectly fine. Lucky me, yay. But I did buy like a bunch of the armoured double doors and the sheet metal double doors. So, you know, it evens out. It's all good. So, cool. It's unfortunate, but you can't always win. Well, you can with Popstar. That backpack has been doing stupendous. So again, yeah, unfortunately, it's like the older design, but I don't think people are complaining. It's a super standout, bright and colourful, very unique looking backpack, and with more and more Popstar skins being accepted, it's only doing better and better and better. So as you'll notice with the recent sales history, it's just moving on up, everything's great, and I've got a profit. Right, so yeah, Popstar did get more skins accepted. We got the electric furnace, people are super happy about that. We got the auto turret, people are super happy about that. The armored door, say no more. And then, of course, the Popstar shop front, lovely. But I can confirm, on the workshop right now, it just so happens to be potentially even more. I remember when we're sitting down in chat, just like looking at the skins the skin creator was working on, and after seeing the metal shop front, I was like, look. Small backpacks are about to become skinnable soon. Grab the cute little design that you have there in the hatch, yeah. Put that on the small backpack, right? So you got Big Popstar on the large backpack, and then you've got small Popstar on the small backpack. And we'll find out if that's the winning formula, right? August 4 swipes only getting closer and closer. But yeah, feel free to comment below if you happen to like that design. Popstar isn't going to stop. And maybe we'll see a bucket helmet. Popstar's not going to stop. We'll see how it goes. But as of now, in the position that it's in, it's doing wonders. It's doing great. But at some point, Popstar does have to stop. All right? So feel free to comment below. Did you happen to buy any of these backpacks? Did you happen to sell any? Because the price is looking good. And hopefully over the next few weeks, it sells at an even higher price. And we can walk away with even more profit. Lovely. Apotheosis of War Fridge. It's doing okay. Like, it has kind of dipped a bit. It has kind of risen a bit. We have had more Apotheosis of War skins being accepted. But it's not exactly doing that much different from what it's sold for. So, I mean, again, we kind of had that talking point with the tactical gloves. It's not a bad thing. There's only 36 listings, which, you know what? That's good. Not going to complain. We're not seeing any dumping. A new skin appears and suddenly it rises up. It's nice. But will the Apotheosis of War collection actually work out nicely in the further future? It has kind of been overshadowed by other recent collections and whatnot. Case in point, when the Armored Door was in the Rust Door, it happened to be in the same Rust Door as the Popstar Armored Door. That is slightly down in price. Popstar is not. So, what's your opinion? Do you happen to like the Apotheosis of War collection? I mean, I like the locker and the rug. I'm still hoping for them to be accepted. Sheep Meta Double Door would be pretty sweet as well, just saying. But overall, yeah, it looks good. It's holding up quite nicely. It's interesting to have skins like this every now and then. For every Popstar skin, we should have something like Apotheosis of War. Keeps us somewhat grounded. Somewhat. Runway rug. Okay, yeah, it went down in price a bit, which is unfortunate. But again, I feel like this is just suffering like most skins at the moment. So, of course, as we go through August time, could that rebound? Could it go? I mean, look at it. It's only a few listings below its Rust Door price. Yeah, that could easily rebound and go back up in price. Yes, look at it. It's thin after that. It's all good. All right, you know what? You do appear as if you're retaining your value to a point. It has been quite a slow descent. Surely it can't go any lower now. In fact, the recent sales are clearly people selling to the highest buy order. Well, I certainly hope it does improve. I really would like to see it happen. But I do expect it to happen. I do believe as we go for August, and again, like later on, post-Christmas, January 2027, I wouldn't be surprised if that is in the positive. So, I've still got my hopes up. I still expect things to work out nicely, but we did go through the June dip. Prices have recently suffered a fair bit. Which is something we were expecting with the Abyss SKS. It's gone down in price, but it hasn't fully suffered. So much like what we saw with previous Abyss skins, or rather specifically the weapon skins, because it is part of an in-demand collection, because people do happen to like the collection, I was like, you know what? I've kind of got to land with my barders at around $2. Well, how low did it go? Because I can confirm it does look as if it's starting to improve, and I can confirm it does appear to have stopped at around $2. Yes, I did buy a bunch of these with my barders, and yes, I'm looking forward to seeing how much this happens to rise as we go through August time. Because as you noticed, it's just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. There's hardly anything there. There's hardly anything there. There's only 14 skins listed. So, yeah, I'm pretty optimistic. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully. All right, cool. So, yeah, the pattern behavior has happened once more. Did you happen to buy any Abyss skins with barders, or did you purchase straight from the Rust Store? Feel free to comment below. But did you see my short video where I brought this up? I'm not joking. So let's go to here. Let's go to YouTube. How far back do we have to go? Well, it's not going to be super hard to notice some cute beady eyes and a sleeping bag. So oh, there you go. Ta-da! No, that's the bed. There you go. Right. So again, I literally recorded this the second, not the instant second, but like 15 minutes after we had done the abnormal barders. I could see there's something very interesting cooking right here. And again, the possibility of collection continuations, such as I thought the sleeping bag was going to be in a pretty good spot. And I can confirm it has been a pretty good spot. Didn't see the bed being accepted, unfortunately. Maybe we could see an Armored Door. We'll find out. But in regards to the price, I swear at one point this was listed at about $4. So yeah, you can see how recently it's risen up quite a fair bit. Not sure if that was just someone jumping in and buying out everything, or if that was like legitimate, but I can confirm recently it was pushing up quite nicely, and as of now, it's retaining ever so nicely. It's just doing good. Sorry, I haven't breathed enough. I yawn when I don't breathe enough. Why not breathe more? Yeah, casuals. Anyway, so yeah, $2.80. It's holding up quite nicely. The barders are wonderful. I cannot complain. I cannot complain. It's in a wonderful spot, and I'm very happy I did jump in and buy a bunch of them. So for the foreseeable future, could do even better. Well, skin creators are trying. I would like to see a baby cup sort of sleeping bed, small backpack. Sorry, I get them mixed up. I don't know why, but yeah, it's holding up quite nicely. Things are looking pretty good, and I hope to see more. I certainly do. So, yep, that's looking pretty sweet. Dreadsword, I didn't expect that much, and, well, yeah. To be honest with you, it's not doing too bad. You did say 60 cents to 80 cents hedge, and based on what we're seeing here, well, yeah, it just doesn't really have that many listings. People just haven't really put that much on the Steam market, so it succeeds based on the fact that there just isn't that many of them around. Or available. Available might be the better term to use. So it's not exactly in demand. It's not exactly profitable. It's just there. So yeah. If anything, the 60 cent to 80 cent barter is just like a bit of a fail safe, I guess you could say. It's like I want to take part, but I don't fully trust it, so I'll just lowball it, and yeah, there you go. I can't confirm I haven't bought any yet, so maybe I went a bit too low. It is what it is. Toy Savage Dax. Did we see another attempt for a toy skin? Again, I made the joke earlier that Little Ranger has too much going on. I'm not joking. He literally has too much going on. We have not seen another toy skin being posted ever since this got accepted. But of course, we see Rainbow Pony coming back and the chicken. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. But not exactly any collection continuations. And this has slipped and it's gone below its trust or price. So, yeah, I wanted to play it safe. I was a little bit too safe because I did suggest 60 cents to 80 cents. So I would happen to believe people do like the toy collection. They would like to see more. But with a lack of new skins being accepted, I would expect it to slowly descend downwards. Maybe it holds up just because it didn't sell that much. You know what? There's that too as well. So, all right, not exactly doing super bad. It's only down by about 50 cents and whatnot. Could be worse. I don't want it to be, but it could. However, Senor Tomato Thompson. So I could see some interesting things going on. Like, again, back then, Thompsons were looking pretty sweet. I was like, there's something special here. I do recognise with the recent Senor Tomato skins, the weapon skins that is, there have been some complications, there have been some problems, but something that sells so little for a Thompson, you know, like, I had to jump on it. I had to buy some, and I'm glad I did. Now, at the moment, it's only retaining its value, but at the moment, there's only 16 listed. It has pushed up to $3 at one point. It's had a bit of an up and a down, It's been a bit weird, but you know what? I'm not complaining. I can't help but assume as time goes on, this will probably slowly go up in price in a very strange yet goofy way. So as we approach the August time, here's hoping it really does happen to rise up, and, well, here's hoping it becomes a pretty interesting investment. Senor Tomato, you are strange. I cannot fully answer what's going on half the time here, but I have to acknowledge sometimes it might be worth just jumping in for a wild card. And you know what? Not going to complain. But again, around 6,000 subscribers compared to 6,700 compared to 13,000. Why is it SARS and AK-47 suffer, but Thompson's not so much? Might be due to the fact that we have far too many of these in these. And we are starting to see more and more Thompsons as time goes on, so might be good for now. Is it going to always be good in the future? How many more Thompsons have we seen since this? Nothing. So maybe it benefits because of that. Probably. So, alright then, cool. Did you happen to buy any yourself? For comment below. Did you happen to buy any Nuke Vibe large boxes? Probably not. It went down to $1.50. I did remove my barter. Funny enough, though, I did say up to $1.50, so I guess it's basically stopped at that specific point. Alright, cool, but the collection's still not on demand. I was right to like lowball it a fair bit. I'm not really sure what's going to happen next with you, so I just have to leave it be. But yeah, it was kind of obvious what was going to happen. And then, of course, with the old pump shotgun, this only managed about 4,000 subscribers, 4,800 to be precise. Sorry about that. But yeah, with hardly any sales, it's got hardly any listings on the Steam market, but it's got hardly any interest. It's not really moving that much whatsoever. You never know. Manipulations might happen in the future, Hedge. Ooh. Got to keep an eye out. If someone randomly buys these out one day, you've got to keep an eye on it. Alright then, so it's not really something I want to rely upon, but you never know. But then again, every week we tend to have one skin that sells hardly anything. All of them are susceptible to potentially being manipulated. So, take your pick. So honestly, overall, with the bilders, in some instances, yeah, things kind of went down a fair bit. And things are just held up perfectly fine. With this rush store, I'm still positive. Yes, we have noticed some slips, some prices dropping off. But again, that's most rush skins right now. I'm still hoping, starting next week, we can only expect to see improvement. We can only start to see proper, actual nice rises in price with all the skins in Rust. So, alright then, just got to stay optimistic. Of course, you can always go over to here to the market cap and keep track of everything. You can search for specific collections like Popstar. How you doing? Oh, it's predominantly in the green. Some recent skins have slipped a little bit, which is a bit unfortunate. But overall, I can see a lot of positivity there. I can see with the overall market cap that the prices are in fact rising very nicely as well. So, okay, you just got to stay a little bit more optimistic. That's all. Right then. So, let's now give you a nice little preview for next week. Boom. It's not quite complete the sets, but it is some interesting, fairly recent skin submissions that were accepted. And oh, look at that. Popstar Electric Furnace, a very bright, very colourful, very distinct and unique electric furnace skin. So, all right, cool. Dead End Garage Door, a pretty calm, relaxing looking garage door design. Is that a transparent aim sight sap skin? Yep. Okay, I think we might have quite a discussion with that. Not only with that appearing, but with what also appeared after it as well. It's not just its collection, it was other saps. What? Yeah. Psycho hoodie and pants and tier 2 armor. Alright, that's cool, but could have gone for something a little bit more colourful and notable. Oh, look, yeah, another Yoka. That's looking cool. That's nice. So, honestly, overall, perfectly fine batch of skins. But this week here, it was a pretty cool looking Rust store. And again, would you personally consider it to be a sort of complete the sets Rust store? I feel like I guess you could. I referred to it as a teaser, but in reality, that was a pretty good looking complete the sets Rust store in its own right. Cool. So that's it. That's a wrap. I hope you like the insight going back to these older Rust stores, how everything panned out and worked out and whatnot. And don't forget to feel free to comment below. Were you satisfied with how things have rolled out so far? Because again, we have endured potentially what was the worst of it for the next month or so. But then after August, autumn fall seasonal dip, prepare yourselves. You might want to consider getting those sales in as we go through August. Get that sweet delicious profit and potentially pick up these skins again for a much cheaper price once we've reached October time. So, for your consideration. And so that, thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Catch you later. Say goodbye.